season is back! And welcome back to our recording. I'm your host, 007, Gage Sutton. And to my right is my awesome host as well, the young Rottweiler, Ethan Hamilton.
Bark, bark, bark.
We're back for another episode. And today we're here to talk about a little bit of everything. But before we get to all that, make sure y'all like, subscribe, and do all of that fun stuff. All that's going to be down in the description. Ethan, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. I'm excited to record another Our Recording podcast episode. We smoked last week's episode. If you want to check out what you missed, it'll be in the description down below. And then we'll put it up here on the top of the screen too. So our highest viewed podcast video. So make sure to check it out and subscribe while you're at it.
Hey, thank y'all. And if you are subscribed already, you should already see the video. So go watch it, Like, hey, just do us a favor.
Come on, support the group chat. That's our new family, man. The group chat.
The group chat. Well, again, thank y'all for tuning in. Really excited. We got a lot to talk about this week. So let's not waste any more time, man. Let's get right into it because like I started the episode with, it's football season. My seasonal depression is over, and
my seasonal depression starts. See,
I love that football can be so conflicting for both of us because there's so many good things about football, and one of the best things about football right now is Colorado. I'm sorry, I got to say this right now. We got to start this.
I got to start with a my bad. Hey,
you want to start with a my bad? Let's do it.
I'll start with a my bad.
Floor is yours, my
I'm
friend.
usually 100% right? And I don't want to say I wasn't off the Deion hype train because don't get me wrong, right? I had my opinions on how he left Jackson State, and I still am 10 toes down on how he left Jackson State and how he handled that situation. I never had a problem with him going to Colorado. In fact, I was perfectly fine. I knew eventually he was going to make a high-end D1 major move anyways. Right, my beef with Deion and what he handled was how he navigated the whole leaving Jackson State.
Yeah.
But I do admit, I didn't think Colorado was going to be this good this early. Not saying that it's already done and dusted, but beating TCU, the team that was in the national championship game, regardless if they were number 17th ranked, regardless, how he did it too, Shedeur Sanders, Travis Hunter, and tons of other guys. They look like the real deal. They look box office.
You are 100% right, my friend. They had 4 receivers hit 100 yards receiving on Saturday. That is unreal. That is crazy numbers for his first game as a coach of a Division I program, like you said, against the top ranked team last year. This is unbelievable. Probably the best start to like a coaching career in college that we've seen,
especially
only 1 week.
The amount of pressure that he had too. It is 1 week, so let's not jump the gun and say they're going to be a college football playoff team, a perennial powerhouse. There's still 1 game, right? I think the goal for this season is for him just keep pushing the ball along. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully, I didn't think they'd make a bowl game this year. They're already on the right stretch, right? And let me say, it's not a cop out. I know I said they weren't going to make a bowl game this season, right? I might be proven wrong already, but there's still a lot of season left to play. So we'll see. Because he could start out 1-0 at TCU and then drop the next 4.
Yeah. But hey, you mentioned it. They've got the talent to be in that conversation, to stay ranked all season, to be in that conversation when it's all said and done of which teams are going to make these playoffs. Because Travis Hunter is the real deal. That guy is unbelievable.
I've never seen nobody play both ways like that in college.
Deion Sanders.
Except
Deion. And Shader obviously had a great game too.
Shedeur Sanders is the truth, boy. Like he was the one I was most confident. Not saying I wasn't confident in Travis Hunter, but like Shedeur, like I see an NFL ready quarterback right there. Like he might not be Caleb Williams or Drake May, but that next tier below that, Michael Penix, Quinn Ewers, he's definitely in that tier. Okay, he's definitely right in the midst of it.
So see, Ethan, I will walk back. It wasn't, I guess, really a take, but I wasn't as big of a believer in Shedeur. I figured he was going to be good, but the way he came out slinging that thing week 1,
500 yards, already set a record for college Colorado football in his first game.
Dude, Exactly. It's unprecedented. There hasn't been another player who has done that. And again, a lot of hype's being thrown into this. We don't want to overhype them, but hey, what's done is done. They're already selling out that stadium. Colorado hasn't seen numbers on that field like they have in years. And man, I just think this is good for college football. I'm happy for Deion. They've got a very fun, exciting team, and I'm just glad college football is back, man.
Me too. Me too. That game that they got to play in USC in a couple weeks, that's going to be what is it called? The Saturday morning crew over at ESPN. They got to show up to that game. USC versus Colorado. You know what that game could remind me of in a little NFL comparison? LA Rams, Kansas City Chiefs, Monday Night Football. That could be that level of game.
Hey, I'm not. I wouldn't put it past them because, like we've been talking about, explosive offenses. I mean,
Do you think Travis Hunter is going to be able to play wide receiver and cornerback the entire season? I don't think so.
No, I think they're going to have to start being a little more careful about
Selective.
where they're playing him. Selective. Yeah, I think selective is the right word. I think it's going to be situational depending on like where they're going to need him. If the offense is struggling, they need a boost, they'll throw Travis Hunter in there. But if the defense is struggling, take him off the field on offense and let him play some defense. Like that's the great thing about having an athlete like him is you can afford to do that, but you also don't want to burn him out.
Yeah, because I know the debate is like which position is he better than? Because he's a great wide receiver and he's also a great corner. I'm in the line of I think he's a very good wide receiver. Like I think he's to put it in projections, I think he could be a top 10 pick at wide receiver and a first round pick at corner. That's what I think the level is at.
He could still be a top 10 pick at corner too.
No, he's gonna be a top. Don't get it twisted. If he doesn't get hurt, he's going to be a top 10 pick. Probably top 5. Probably top 5. Not this year, but the year after. Like he's that good. But I don't see him playing wide receiver and corner much longer. I give it like 3 more games max.
Yeah, we'll see what they end up deciding to do with him. But let me just say, I love that those white boys were like, throw it Travis Hunter's way. And then guess what he does? Gets a pick right after they said that.
Hey, as a person that lives in Fort Worth, that's how the Fort Worth white boys be talking. That's how the TCU boys be talking. So, yeah, no, that was definitely an upset too. We also got to give the real upset of the week. Our alma mater, the Texas State Bobcats.
Eat them up!
Eat them up. Eat them up. Go Cats, go.
Go. Hey, sick 'em Bears. More like sick of these Bears because Baylor stinks and we put them down, man.
You had to take that. You had to take that. Eat it.
Bozo.
Eat it.
Dance on it.
Bozo. Bro, I was so hyped that we beat Baylor. I just wish the game was at Texas State. Oh, we would have got so lit.
That's okay because Texas State's going to get another win this week on the road again.
UTSA?
Oh, yeah. And guess what? Oh. You can't spell nutsack without UTSA. So. And that's for my city, too. So, hey.
That's funny. We rep at Texas State. This is a Texas State podcast, so this might be the only time you ever see us rep Texas State football. But this year, for this week, you go hear it. Especially if you hear us, if we beat UTSA.
Ooh. Hey. This is what we really needed, though, because Texas State football has been down bad for as long as you and me have been alive. And since we were at Texas State, we went through a lot of disappointing seasons where we thought that they were going to take that next step, where they were going to win more than 3 or 4 games. This might actually be the year they do it. And
let's not put too much pressure.
Okay,
right?
You're right. But
we got a new coach in Klein from UIW. First game already.
They're off to a great start. They beat Baylor.
If they beat UTSA,
UTSA is a winnable game. And that's the thing is a lot of these games where they were winnable, they lost. This isn't the same Texas State team, I think. Again, we got to let it breathe. We got to see how the rest of the season plays out. But to me, they came out firing against Baylor. And if they can keep it up, this might be the best Texas State team we've seen in years.
I'm with you. Shout out TJ Finley. Shout out that white boy too, that receiver.
Oh yeah,
a hooper.
Dude, did you see that catch?
No gloves either.
No gloves.
No gloves either. That was tough. He looked like me out there. No.
All right.
No. Sorry. I tried.
No, he looks more like me out there because
Yeah, fair enough.
I
Fair
guess,
enough. Yeah.
complexion, but hey, whatever. But okay, cool. So college football again, off to a great start, man. I have been literally just
This is heaven for
ecstatic.
you right now.
I'm so happy about it, man. And the NFL season starts today as we're recording this episode, and we'll talk about the NFL later in the episode. But it's just been a crazy week in sports. I love that college football is back. But another big story in the news this week is Logan Paul and Dillon Danis's Twitter beef leading up to, or I guess not even Twitter beef, real life beef heading into their fight. And let me tell you, I think Dillon Danis is taking this a little bit far.
Really, you feel like this? Because you a big Paul hater. So I thought you'd be on the Dillon Dennis side.
I will say, Dillon Danis posted something really funny on Twitter the other day where he said Logan Paul wouldn't survive in 1990s WWE. Which, hey, you know what? I won't I won't speculate on that. The 90s WWE was a whole different atmosphere. Logan probably would have gotten his ass kicked by guys like The Undertaker, guys who weren't going to put up with a lot of the bullshit that he would do behind the scenes. But like what Dillon Danis said at the press conference, more specifically, Logan said something about how, why are you taking it out on me that my brother slept with your girl? And Dillon Danis said something along the lines of, well, I made the smart decision of getting rid of the slut. You're getting married to one.
That's insane.
That's
that
a little
insane.
far. Dude, that was completely uncalled for.
I don't think it's
straight.
No, it's that was a direct shot. That was his girl caught a straight. But
no,
like,
that's what I'm saying. His girl caught a stray. That's so unnecessary.
But my whole thing is like, I think all is fair in love and war. And when we're in this like COE content over everything, and people like Logan and Dillon Danis and the Paul family, they subscribe to this. This is how they made their fame and fortune, is off of COE, right? His girl is COE. Like, she's in this lifestyle now with him for life.
Yeah, but where do you draw that line, though?
There is no line. I still got. There is no line. There is no line.
There's a line in pro wrestling, though, and he's a pro wrestler too.
Pro wrestling, he is, but this is different. This is different. Like, in the age of when you're talking shit like this, like, there is no line. Like, I subscribe to that. I really do subscribe to that. Like, you just got to be prepared for what happens afterwards. Danis has to be prepared that Logan might fuck him up in that boxing ring. Logan has to prepare for Dillon might fuck him up in that boxing ring, or not even in the boxing ring, outside. Not saying we wish harm on nobody, but after, who knows? He got to hold that. He got to hold whatever happens. You know what I'm saying? The only person I sort of feel bad for is the girl, because this is borderline. This is borderline. Like, all these videos, don't get me wrong, all these videos are public knowledge and are on the internet. Like, it is her digital footprint. She did take these photos. She is involved with these people. But to like slut shame her to this extent and post every video. If the video is already out there, the video is out there. But the fact that he's posting every video back to back to back to back to back to back every single day, and even threatening like an even damning more video. Because did you see that she sued him?
Yeah, but you see,
I don't feel bad for him.
Where that line is, though, or no, you don't feel bad for her.
No, I don't feel bad for him that he's getting sued. You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. That's what I'm saying. Like, I have no problem with him talking shit like that. You just gotta hold if she sues you and if you lose.
Oh, okay. Hey, you know what? You're right.
You gotta hold that. You gotta hold that.
You're right. And I didn't realize that we were talking, when you say all is fair in love and war, I didn't realize we were talking about legal battles here too. Because yeah, absolutely. If you're gonna do that, she has every right to file a lawsuit against him and get this shit figured out. Because me personally, what did Will Smith say? Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth. And if not, we're gonna have some lawyers call up and
that's what I'm saying.
We're gonna figure this out.
We talked about the Will Smith, but it's like, you gotta hold that. I had no problem with Chris doing that, but do I think it was extra that Will did? Yeah, but not to get into that. But it's like, you gotta hold whatever comes with it, even if you're wrong. You still gotta hold that. You still gotta hold you getting smacked on live TV. Dillon Danis, if you get sued and you lose, you gotta hold that you fucked up the fight because you tweeted too many pictures and threatened a video on his girl, and now she got a restraining order on you.
Yeah,
you gotta hold that.
Well,
that's why I don't get why he was complaining on Twitter like, "Oh, she's soft." You gotta hold. Yeah, she might be soft. So what? You gotta hold that.
And you're not fighting her, dude. That's the thing too. Is like
Nah, but you talking
if you
shit. You
really
trying to.
no, okay. So that's the thing is most of the time when you see these fights, they keep it pretty personal in the sense of like they're talking shit about each other. I usually don't see a lot of these guys try to go into their families or their wives or stuff. So that's where I'm like, Dillon Danis did cross a line where this wasn't this isn't something that a lot of other people do because of she doesn't have any involvement in this fight and she could react like she did. And like you said, he's just gonna have to accept it. He can't bitch about it because he's the one who went out and put the pictures out and basically
But
slut
Logan,
shaming her on the entire internet.
I'm saying Logan can't bitch about it either. You don't.
Well,
He,
he didn't
bring
ask.
it,
He didn't ask for her to be pulled into the
he bring
conversation.
it women and children. He knows who he is and the type of person he is and the type of attention that he's bringing when he does these internet events. When he's talking shit to Dillon Danis like how he is. All right, Dillon Danis, go do some research on you. Yeah, he's right. He's allowed to do some research on you.
Okay, you know what? You're preaching to the choir. You know how much I hate Logan Paul, and
I do feel bad for his girl. I do feel bad for his girl.
Exactly. Realistically, I should feel some sympathy for her, and I really don't feel any sympathy for him because, like you said, he did get himself into the situation. More of my sympathy comes from the idea of she didn't ask to be put in this situation, but hey, she's in it.
She decided to marry him.
She decided to marry him. Exactly. And now she has to deal with it. If she wants to sue Dillon Danis, go for it. And that's exactly what she's going to do. So
exactly. So go for it. And if she wins, Dillon got to hold that. He got to realize he took tweeted too many photos, threatened them too much, that he fucked up the fight. Because if they win this lawsuit against Dillon, he's not going to be able to do the fight because of the restraining order. So he would have messed up that bag up entirely.
All right. So more importantly, though, who wins this fight and when does the WWE rematch happen?
That'd be live if they do it on WWE. I think Dillon's going to win.
You think Dillon's going to win the boxing match, right?
Yeah.
Boxing match, yeah. And then they let Logan. They let Logan win the ladder match or the Hell in a Cell.
No way in hell Logan is letting Dillon Danis in WWE. He's putting no way. He's pulling every executive, put my nuts on the table card. No way in hell is he's doing that.
No, Logan will say, if you bring Dillon Danis to WWE, I'm going to AEW.
That'd be live. That'd be hard. That'd be hard.
That would be some Logan Paul shit. Hey, you know what? I almost went 10 whole minutes without saying anything bad about Logan Paul. That streak was about to end, but you know what? I'm feeling like a changed man today. I don't feel like I need to get into my hatred for Logan Paul. If you want to see me rant more about Logan Paul, go check out some of our older videos. I'm sure I do it in a while.
Oh, you'll see a lot there. You'll see a lot of hating in there. Not even dry hating too. That was pretty direct. That's pretty direct.
Yeah, you know, I'll own up to it straight up. A lot of respect for him as a wrestler. But anyway, hey. Anyway, we can move on to our next segment, and personally, my favorite segment. Put you on.
Our focus on 10. Our focus on 10 today.
Oh, I know.
We here, we live direct.
You know, I'm a little sick, but you know, I think that sick sounding gives it a little
raspiness and a little warm tone in the voice. Yeah.
Yeah, just a little bit more.
we would have sucked on American Idol as judges. Oh my god, we would have sucked. You know the voice. If I was on the voice, I'd have tried to hear for bad bitches only. I would have a team of bad bitches. I might see you.
Yeah, you just spin your chair, like you spin your chair and then you turn around and you're like, oh, she's kind of. She's not pretty, so
how do I take it back?
Yeah, can I turn the chair back?
Have you seen them? I love those accidental ones too, where they act like they're rubbing it and not paying attention, and they hit it, and they're like, and now they gotta sit there and be like, yeah, I didn't mean to hit it, and then just praying somebody else hits the button too, so they have to pick it, and they're like, yeah, I didn't mean to pick it. I'm
just
sorry.
Wasted a roster spot, friend. Blake Shelton. Sorry, buddy.
Exactly. But let's put you on this week. You started last week. I'm gonna start it this week. You wanna start with music or you wanna start with TV?
Yeah,
or TV and movies.
Let's do music, man.
Music.
Yeah. Let me start off because I went to a concert this week.
Okay.
Maybe where I got sick. I went to I know you're not a big fan of this type of music, but I went to a rock show, Sleeping with Sirens, and hey, if you're into rock music, into that if you're feeling a little depressed, you feel like you need to go back to the year 2010 where your hair's hanging over your eyes, you're wearing black eyeliner, it's emo time again. Go check out Sleeping with Sirens, man. They were freaking incredible live. And
Gage was in his white boy emo bag. How you sound in the crowd? How did first say you sounded in the crowd?
Hold on. I gotta get my my white boy voice on. Yeah, my
yeah. You gotta get character.
It was like the what song were we singing? He did a cover of of Iris.
Oh, by Goo Goo Dolls?
Yeah.
Fire ass song.
So fire. So fire.
Yeah.
So you know what?
Fire,
I'll make that my like official put you on for the week. Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls. But if you also like, rock music, go check out Sleeping with Sirens. And without further ado, here's my my impression. All right, ready? Let's try this.
Yeah.
Ugh. All right, hold on.
You're folded right now.
Where are you? And I'm so sorry.
Bro, Chad, this concert is amazing.
Dude, Kellen fucking Quinn? Oh my God.
Bro, I can't believe he just came out.
Dude, his vocals were like insane.
Like,
where
totally
are
rad.
But hey, all jokes aside, I actually really do enjoy. I have a lot of versatility. And Sleeping with Sirens is like one of my favorite bands. If you like them, go check them out. Honestly, we should start playing little snippets. With
honestly, I'm gonna be in your little bit of an emo bag, but I'm gonna switch it to the Tizo touchdown. So before this, we're shooting this on Wednesday. We're shooting this Thursday the 7th.
Thursday, yeah.
But tonight the Tizo touchdown album comes out. How do you sleep at night? Yeah, if you're very much in that emo punk sort of, it's more R&B-ish lane though in comparison to rock, but it's very similar. They're like cousins, you know what I'm saying? They're cousins. So his new album is coming out. I'm a very big fan of Tizo Touchdown. First heard him on the Tyler Creator album, Call Me If You Get Lost. Excited to hear his album. It's gonna be my pick for the week, and I haven't even heard it. But yeah, no, I'm really excited about the album.
I loved his feature on the Travis album too.
Smoked on Marta Jam?
Smoked it, yes. I've been nothing but impressed with Tizo. I think people are thrown off by how like weird and like eccentric music is. But if you don't listen to rock music, so like, hey, no, I'm not throwing shots at any of the guys in the group chat, but if you don't get Tizo Touchdown, it's because you're just listening to hip hop. He incorporates so many elements of rock music that for someone like me, I love it. I'm listening to it. I'm like, this is so new. I haven't heard anything like this. It's a fusion of two sounds that I love, and he does it so well.
It is well, but don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna let that slide, that hip hop comment, because I'm with you. Tizo does make that music, but sometimes we can't just give someone the eclectic weird bag, so it must be good. Because don't get me wrong, I'm excited to hear the album, but some of the snippets look very corny and sounded a little bit of ass, a 2-pack of ass, as Joe Budden would like to say. So
okay, so is it going to all translate perfectly? No. Some of it is going to come off very corny, very forced. But I think the first single to come out, You Thought, featuring Janelle Monáe, that's a great song. It is beautifully made. It's like just weird enough to get me to listen to the whole song. It's only 3 minutes long too, so it's fast-paced enough to just keep me interested, man. And that's all I really want from an artist. So I'm excited for this Tizo album, man. I don't care what people are gonna say about it. I'm sure there are gonna be a lot of people, including friends in our group chat, who are gonna say that he's corny, that it sounds like ass. But for me, hey, dude, you're inspired by what you're inspired by, and if there's gonna be a lot of rock influence on here, there's gonna be a lot of alternative, a lot of shit. But I have no idea what else.
We'll see if he lands the plane though, because if this shit is ass, I'm gonna come here in a week and walk back what I said.
Yeah.
But then if I walk it back in 3 months and say it's good, you guys are just gonna have to tough it up. This is our recording where opinions change every day. Cause we're full of shit.
Hey, and sometimes like the transition, and that's the thing is, I think with hip hop artists, or I guess primarily hip hop artists who are venturing into the rock genre, it doesn't always pan out, and I will always be critical of it too because Machine
I'm
Gun Kelly,
critical. I'm
Machine Gun
critical
Kelly,
of it too,
Kid
because
Cudi, yuck. Kid Cudi's rock album, garbage, terrible,
yeah,
horrible. Don't check it out if like it's not worth
yeah,
your time.
no.
Um,
But also, I
he
don't. This leads to a bigger discussion because I really don't like. I think it started with Yachty too. Not started with Yachty, but like the Yachty album at the beginning of the year, him talking about him wanting to be taken seriously by not only being a rapper. But I don't like that because why is rap the? It's a conversation for another day. But why is rap the only genre that it happens to? Country music artists can be considered real artists by only making country music. They don't have to go to another genre of music and make that music. Rock musicians get to do that. They get to sit in the rock lane and be considered musicians. But hip hop is the only genre where they have to go to another genre of music, country, whatever, make a song there to be considered real musicians.
yeah.
I respect the fact that some rappers stay in the rap lane and be like, I'm an artist and I rake rap music.
Hey, let's
And
be
that's a convo for a different day. That's a convo for a different day
no.
because I
You're
could really get on. I'm really gonna get on my shit with it that day when that happens because
you
I really do hate it. And this comes from a person that really liked the Yachty album, that really liked Tyler the Creator, Igor. Like I liked his switch up, but I have no problem with a rapper being like, I'm staying in rap because I love rap music and I want to make rap music. Not saying that these other guys don't like rap music, Lil Yachty and Tyler the Creator, but I don't like how rappers are the only artists that are expected to leave their genre and go somewhere else to be considered good artists. Like that only applies to us.
it's definitely a double standard with some racial undertones too, because it's not fair. You're right. And I personally don't, I've never seen it that way. And I feel like there are a lot of people who genuinely love hip hop, but they're the people who are in the belief of, oh, hip hop's not real music. Eat a dick. Hip hop is as real as music can get. And if you just make hip hop music, you are still just as genuine an artist as a rock artist or a country artist or whatever. Hey, but if we want to hear us talk more about it, we'll talk about it next week on the podcast because
Leave a comment. Leave a comment in the video right now. Stop what you're doing. Our audio listeners, come find us on social media, DM us on the account, and let us know if you want us to have a more in-depth discussion. We can have a third guest on to talk about it too. We got a bunch of good people. Christopher Brocker, CB. We've had Jarris come on. We can have a bunch of people and come talk about this. But let us know in the comments down below.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we got a little off track, but let's get back to Put You On.
Put you on.
And let's go to our movies / TV side of stuff. And I really don't know what I should do for.
I'm still bummed out that you haven't checked BS High yet, the Bishop Sycamore doc yet.
Yeah, I know.
You would love it. You'd love it.
I've been busy. I finished Tiger Mask W. I know that was my recommendation for last week's episode, but I also watched a movie that I had way. It took me way too long to watch this movie. It's super old. And if for whatever reason you haven't seen this movie yet, please go check out Inglorious Bastards. I did myself the disservice of waiting years to watch this movie, and finally Dillon told me just sit down and fucking watch it, and I did. I was very impressed. Obviously, this is
it's amazing movie.
I'm preaching to the choir here. Yeah, I'm preaching to the choir here. It's a mainstream darling, but yeah, Inglorious Bastards. Go check it out. It's really good. So, Ethan, I'm more interested in what you're gonna say because I have a feeling
it's my
coming.
time. You absolutely right. I am an anime baby, anime weeb, whatever you want to call it, a truther, a third eye opener. I have been waiting for the One Piece live action to come out for a year and a half, 2 years now, ever since they announced it, right? And as a person that watches anime, everything to do with anime, One Piece is my favorite anime ever. The pressure was like so high. I want this to be so good, right? And anime live actions have a history of being terrible, like horrible. Dragon Ball, Rurouni Kenshin, not anime, but like Avatar, The Last Airbender, Full Metal Alchemist, like historically.
Shit, they just did terrible. It with Cowboy Bebop too.
Cowboy Bebop, and that's another one too. And the big worry about anime things is like the anime medium does not translate very well to on-screen live actionness, right? The physics of the fights, some of the character designs, and I was really worried about that too. Because as far as One Piece, for those who don't know, One Piece is a silly, goofy pirate manga, but it's a lot more in depth than that. Like if you ever end up wanting to read it, it's one of the greatest pieces of fiction. It's still not done yet. Goat Oda, better than Shakespeare. Check it out. Definitely check it out. It's a long process. It's definitely a lifestyle. When you get into it, you're not coming back out the same person that you went into it. But the One Piece live action officially came out on Netflix, and I love it. I think it's a success. The One Piece live action is the first successful anime live action. Round of applause for the anime.
Hey,
One Piece, come on.
Hey, I will take that as high praise coming from someone like you, like, because you love anime, you obviously love One Piece. So if you're saying that it's the best live action one and you're happy with the way that One Piece was portrayed in this show, I'm actually kind of interested. But let me ask you, for someone who's never seen One Piece, do you think it's a good idea to start with like the live action show, or is it better to try to watch the anime first?
The live One Piece is a very long. It's a very very long anime and manga. The manga is the written form, and the anime is the cartoon, the animated edition. And the problem with that I have with the One Piece anime is that it's very very bloated. It's very very bloated, and it comes with the whole. The reason why it's very bloated is because they don't adapt a lot of stuff from the chapters into. They adapt everything, but they do it at a very slow pace. So the pacing is a very big issue with One Piece, the anime. It doesn't really have that too much in the manga to the same extent that the anime does. But I'm sorry, I got lost track. What did you even? What were you?
No, so
asking
I
me?
was just asking. So for me personally, who's never seen One Piece, you've been telling me to watch
Which
it
one
for
to start
years.
with? Which one
Yeah,
to start with?
which one should I start with?
I would say the anime early on in One Piece. You should definitely watch the anime, and that's really what this really. The live action first season. It's only 8 episodes, not too long of a watch, about an hour each episode, but it basically covers the first 75 episodes of One Piece. So basically the prologue of One Piece, where you're getting the main characters for the most part introduced to each other. That's what this
Okay.
first season covers. So I would start with the anime because don't get me wrong, the live action is not perfect. It is good, but the bar is very low for it to supersede it. You know what I'm saying? That I'm just happy they took their time with this. Oda came and paused. That was insane. That was outrageous. That was outrageous.
Hey, if we
We're
were
gonna have
live
to do it.
streaming, I would put you in the penalty box right now.
Yeah. We're gonna have to do a put. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna get a meat watch. We're gonna do a meat watch this week for me and One Piece.
Boo!
Yeah, no. I would say start with the anime first. Get to I would say 75, 80 episodes in, and then hop over and watch the live action. Because don't get me wrong, they messed up on. I think not because I know they can't adapt everything one of one because it's an anime and it's a TV show. Like different type of audiences, different type of stuff translates to the story. They have to kind of pick and choose what they want to expound on. I think they hit on a lot of stuff, but they did miss on a lot of dynamics too. I thought they would with characters, especially in my opinion, Luffy and Sanji. I feel like that's the one that was left. Yeah, but I want to give a shout out to the actors too. This is a big. They had a big pressure covering something like this, and I think they nailed it. They nailed it. Shout out to all the One Piece actors.
Yeah, so that's the other thing I was gonna say is obviously I've never seen the show or anything, but I see all of the promotional stuff popping up on my feed, and I love how much they're promoting it. And the clips I've seen from it try to stick to like the cartoony, like weird style of
Zany
anime.
style, yeah.
Zany, yeah, yeah. Um, and it also helps that I think all of the cast is so likable. All of the cast has just come off as like very enjoyable, like had a great time on the set, enjoyed, being able to, uh, I guess, bring this to life.
The chemistry between all of them was really, really good.
Yeah.
It was really, really better than I hoped for on a live action. And they haven't even got together like half the characters from the main crew.
Well,
So
Ethan,
I'm excited for.
Hey, let me tell you,
season
dude.
2.
You might have to send a thank you letter to Netflix because this might be the reason why I start watching One Piece. But hey, no promises yet. No promises yet. But
I'm gonna hold you to it. I don't even care. I'm gonna hold you to it.
I said maybe.
But the One Piece live action, that's gonna be my pick for the week, man. I know me and Travis have been really giddy about it. So, but yeah, no, excited. Check it out if you haven't gotten the chance.
Absolutely. Well, we're about halfway, maybe a little more than halfway through this video. If you are enjoying it so far, please leave a like. Make sure to subscribe. Share with a friend if
Share
if
with a
you haven't
lover.
already. Share it with a goldfish.
Share it with that goldfish's friend. And make sure to give us 5 stars on Apple Music and Spotify. Yeah, I like the podcast. Share it with somebody. We'd really appreciate it, man. We're gonna grow this group chat even bigger. So thank you guys.
Yep. And we really appreciate all the views on our last video too. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out again. Shameless plug. But now, let's get into probably what a lot of people are ready for, excited for. Me, like I said, my seasonal depression is over, and this is the biggest reason why. Because the NFL is back, baby. Starting
My
tonight.
seasonal depression is the beginning, bro. For the next 4 months, my mood for the week will be decided by 53 guys in silver and blue. I'm not ready for it.
You're ready to be disappointed again because
I'm not. I'm not, and I'll get into it. But we gotta spread some agendas. Last week we talked about how agendas. That's what we're known for, man. Agendas, no facts, all emotion. All right, we're doing agendas of what we want to see in the NFL 2023-2024 season. So, Gage, what are 3 agendas that you got to start the season that you're gonna be pushing through thick and thin? You gotta hold on to them. You can't switch up. At the end of the year, the season, you might have to do some my bads, but what you got for us?
So I think it might be better for us to like exchange. Do 1 and 1. We can conversate about each one, and then we'll go forward. My first one, and I know this is going to cause a lot of controversy.
We should do a preface. We should do a preface. This is all hate. If you have a problem with this, so what? It's gonna be a lot of meat riding. It's gonna be a lot of hate. Sorry, any of the athletes we see on here, we don't know you guys as people. You guys are characters in this TV storyline. You guys get paid millions of dollars. You're gonna have to hold that. Sorry.
Hey, we're just cutting promos. That's basically what this is.
Basically.
But my first agenda, and I know you're not going to be a big fan of it, and it might not even be that unpopular of an opinion, but I think Jalen Hurts is by far and clearly the best quarterback in the NFC. Why is no one talking about how the NFC doesn't have a quarterback better than Jalen Hurts right now? Please.
That's what you wanted to start with?
Go ahead. Go ahead, because I mean that's my agenda. I don't think there's any argument too, because you could name your quarterback with the big star on his head, but he hasn't made it to a Super Bowl.
He hasn't until this year. So we're gonna hold off on that, because I think you're dead wrong, because we never talked about Jalen Hurts the year before this. We never said he was gonna be a top 2, top 3 quarterback. So the fact that he magically got to the Super Bowl and he didn't do, in my opinion, anything deserving of being a top 3, top 5, top 10 quarterback in that entire run is blasphemy to me. He barely threw over 200 yards. He played Daniel Jones and the Giants, and he played Christian McCaffrey at quarterback 49ers. And you want me to give Jalen Hurts a cookie for that? And then in the Super Bowl, his turnover was the biggest reason why they lost the game.
Oh, brother.
And you want me to say he's the best quarterback in the NFC? When there's guys like the real D4, the future Hall of Famer, Dak Prescott, Kirk Cousins, the man in the Midwest, the best quarterback in the Midwest for the last however many years, he better than those 2 guys? When you gonna be for real? When you gonna be for real?
Ethan, you know who you're talking to, right?
Yeah, Captain Kirk.
Let me tell you, I have been not a Dak supporter, but
you've been a Dak hater. You've been a Dak hater ever since. Yes, you have.
That is not true. I had Dak in my top 10. I've always defended Dak in people saying that he's trash. No, he's a top 10. He's near that level. Do I think he's overhyped by Cowboys fans? Absolutely. But this is the thing. Kirk Cousins? Are we talking about the same quarterback, Ethan? Are we talking about the same guy?
Captain Kirk
lost in the playoffs, the first round, a game that they should have won. One of the most overrated teams in recent history. They won 14 games last season.
They did not win 13, 14 games. They won 12 games last year. They won 12 games last year.
They won 12?
Yeah, they won 12 games last year. I'll pull it up right now. The Vikings 2023 2022 Vikings record. Let's see what they got. Yeah, they went. Oh, they won 13 games.
See,
Sheesh,
okay,
13 and
so see,
4.
that's what I'm saying. 13-win season. And then what did they do? They got fucked up in the first round of the playoffs. He's a scrub, a bona fide scrub. We've already talked about it on the podcast. There's no need to talk about it. But more importantly, E, besides those two guys, which I've already made my cases for why I don't think they're better than Jalen Hurts, is there anyone else who's even deserving to be in the conversation? No.
They're better than Jalen Hurts?
No, there's not.
Daniel
There's
Jones?
not. Daniel Jones is not even close. Daniel Jones.
If you put Daniel Jones on that Giants team, he would have done. Or if you would have put Daniel Jones on that Philly team, he would have done the same thing. What does Jalen Hurts really do better than Daniel Jones? We're being honest. If we really want to go bar for bar, skill for skill, what does Jalen Hurts do better than Daniel Jones?
We're talking about the same quarterback whose nickname is Danny Derps.
Maybe. All I know is neither one of those guys have beat Dak Prescott in the game. Has Jalen Hurts beat Dak Prescott in the game? Jalen Hurts is 0-6 against Dak in his career. 0-5, I think. 0-5. I'm gonna say 0-5.
Here we go, bringing the conversation to Dak again. But hey, this is what this show is for. If you agree with me or if you agree with Ethan, let us know in the comments. But Ethan, I want to hear your first agenda, man. Let me hear what you're going to be holding on to all season.
I have said this. I said it last year. I said it when he got drafted the year before in the loaded 2021 draft. Kyle Pitts this year will be officially proven as a bust. I'll have it stamped, signed, sealed, delivered. All right? Not saying Kyle Pitts is a horrible player. I don't think he's a horrible player. But the fact that he got the label put generational on him and he's been anything but that is blasphemous. The fact that the Atlanta Falcons drafted a tight end, fourth overall, and proceeded after that to not do jack squat with Kyle Pitts blows my mind, especially when the 7-8 guys that went after Kyle Pitts are going to be perennial Pro Bowlers and all pros for the next 6 or 7 years. Because after Kyle Pitts went Jamar Chase, he's going to be a perennial all pro Pro Bowler for his career. Jalen Waller, Pro Bowler. Penei Sewell, all Pro Bowler. J.C. Horn, all Pro Bowler. Patrick Surtain, already a top 2, top 3 corner in football, all Pro Bowler. Who else? Devontae Smith is going to be a Pro Bowler. Who knows what happened with Justin Fields? But that one's a question mark. Michael Parsons, going to be a top 5 player in football. Might be already a top 5 player in football. Perennial All-Pro and Pro Bowler. Rashawn Slater might be already a top 10, top 15 player in football. Elijah Vera Tucker, a very good guard, more valuable position. Like, we can keep going about the guys on this list. Like, Kyle Pitts, the fact that the Atlanta Falcons picked him 4th overall when they had other needs that were more pressing than a tight end is insane to me. Imagine they picked J.C. Horn and he would have teamed up with A.J. Terrell.
Hey,
imagine they would have picked Michael Parsons and they would have him on that defense. Imagine they would put Jamar Chase.
Hey, so I will give you the benefit of the doubt. All of those players you named that were picked after Kyle Pitts are great players in their own right. But this is where I stand on this, because Kyle Pitts, he is a generational prospect. There's a reason why he was picked number 4, and he showed it his rookie year. He got 1,000 yards receiving his rookie year, broke all of the rookie receiving records for a tight end. He's very effective as a blocker, and this is my defense against him and why you say, like, oh, well, you can add one of these guys to, oh, Micah Parsons on the Falcons and Jamar Chase on the Falcons or whatever. None of those guys are going to make the Falcons that much better than Kyle Pitts did, because let's hear it.
Michael Parsons or Rashawn Slater or PS2 would not put them in a better position than what they are now.
Are they going to get into playoffs? Does that make them a playoff team? Does that make them a Super Bowl team?
No. It makes them closer to a playoff team with those 3 guys. Those are cornerstone pieces.
So is Kyle Pitts.
Kyle Pitts is not a cornerstone piece.
Who was throwing Kyle Pitts the ball his rookie year too? Matt Ryan and Marcus Mariota, dude. And let's think about it. If they
that's my point.
If they took Jamar Chase, if they take Jalen Waddle, Mariota or Matt Ryan are throwing him the ball, he's probably getting similar numbers. Are we talking about them in the similar light?
But that's my point. With those guys, with them picking That's my point in them picking an offensive player just in general. And then picking, I believe, the least valuable offensive player on the field, skill position-wise, in the tight end. That's my whole point. They should have never picked the tight end. They really shouldn't have picked wide receiver. But then passing on guys like Penei Sewell, then passing on guys like Rashawn Slater, Patrick Surtain, J.C. Horn, Micah Parsons, those guys are going to be the best in their position for years. Kyle Pitts, who knows? He might turn around and be one of the best in the position. I don't think he's one of the best in this position already. He could end up being, but the time it'll take Kyle Pitts to become one of the best tight ends in football, especially when they don't have a quarterback, it's time that I think they could have spent anywhere developing somewhere else. Because you're right? He does have Marcus Mariota. He does have Matt Ryan. But if you know he's going to have Marcus Mariota and Matt Ryan, then why are you going to get him somebody? Why are you going to have that piece there? Especially when you're next year's draft, there's guys like Caleb Williams, and Drake May, who might end up fitting well with Kyle Pitts, which is cool. But you could have had Micah Parsons or Rashawn Slater instead. Rashawn Slater and Penei Sewell could be protecting Caleb Williams.
See, okay, that's flawed thinking. If you want to say that maybe I overvalue the tight end position, or maybe they overvalue the tight end position, fair enough. I think I'm definitely in agreement. I think that pass rushers, cornerbacks, quarterbacks, receivers are all more genuinely important positions, right? But when you have a prospect like Kyle Pitts, and when you see what a dominant tight end can do for an offense, aka Travis Kelce in the Kansas City Chiefs offense, George Kittle in the San Francisco 49ers offense, Mark Andrews in the Baltimore Ravens offense, you take a chance on him. And I mean, he's got all the tools. If it weren't for some injuries that derailed him and shifty quarterback play last season, I think he would be in that conversation of top 5, top 10 tight ends. And just to go against your agenda, I think at the end of the year, Kyle Pitts will have established himself as a top 10 tight end by the end of the year.
I think he's top 10.
Top
but
5,
to say
actually. I'll say top 5.
Because he hasn't been a top 5. There's been 5 considerable amount of tight ends better than him in the last 2 years.
Yeah, but it won't be this year.
Especially the turnover rate too. A guy like Dalton Schultz, he was on the Cowboys. Dalton Schultz was a borderline top 5 tight end the last 2 years.
Think ball though, so
he's playing for the Texans, so we're about to see. T.J. Hawkinson, who's been better than Kyle Pitts, is mid. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, these are the bar is so low already for tight ends. So yeah, we're gonna see. But since you got your Kyle, we both got our Kyle Pitts agenda. My second one, or is my second one, or am I on my third one?
It's your second.
My second one. It's my second one.
It's just.
I don't want to go with my big boy one yet. I say my big boy one for the end.
Well, I got one right now.
You already on 2. You already did Kyle Pitts, and you already did
No, Kyle Pitts was yours, dude. That was your first.
You said Kyle Pitts is going to be a top 5. Is that your agenda or no?
Oh, that was just a counter agenda.
Fair enough.
I mean, okay, so mine can be kind of a half agenda, since it kind of has to do with the NFL.
No.
Okay, well, hold on. Well, I'm saying half because it has to do with the college football and kind of the NFL. A lot of news came out this week about Caleb Williams' dad saying that he would stay at USC another year. I'm here to tell you my agenda is Caleb Williams is going this year regardless of what happens with the Cardinals. The Cardinals could be, which, by the way, they are going to be the worst team in football. Did you see the video of John Gannon talking to the team and everyone was like falling asleep in the meeting?
Yeah,
that's
not looking good for them.
It's not looking good at all. But my logic behind this is Caleb Williams is the most highly touted quarterback prospect for a while. Yeah.
He's in that. He's going to be in that Andrew Luck,
Trevor Lawrence. Absolutely, he's going to be in that same breath. You don't pass up that kind of money, especially in college football, where, I mean, it might be a little different with NIL because he is pulling in money from USC, but when you can go as the number 1 overall quarterback, because right now it's unanimous. I don't think there's anyone who's like who thinks it's going to be anyone other than Caleb Williams. Everyone's tanking to get Caleb Williams. There's just too much money on the table. It doesn't make any sense for him to sit another year. So that's my agenda. Caleb Williams will be in the NFL next season, regardless of which team is the worst, regardless of whatever the situation's looking like, and whatever his dad may have said. It's all power play, but ultimately, he's going to be in the NFL. Don't buy the hype. He's not coming back to USC.
All right, I'm not mad at you. I'm gonna go a big boy one. It's kind of like it's not a half in, half out. It's a win-win for me.
Okay.
Let me explain why. I think Lamar Jackson and the Ravens are gonna get the 1 seed in the AFC. I think they're gonna supersede the Chiefs, and I think they're gonna supersede the Bengals in their division. The reason why I say this is Joe Burrow and the Bengals haven't really been able to beat a healthy Lamar Jackson. They haven't, right? And I think the Chiefs are going to be similar to the Patriots of the 2010s. Every single year, they're going to be in the AFC Championship game. They're not going to win it every single year and be in the Super Bowl, but every single year, they're going to be in the divisional and the championship game guaranteed. Like, they're going to make it guaranteed. But some years, you know how with Brady, some years Ben Roethlisberger got him. Some years Peyton Manning got him. Some years Joe Flacco got him. It's going to be like that with Patrick Mahomes. Some years Joe Burrow is going to get him. And I think this year is going to be Lamar Jackson's turn. And I think anything else other than an AFC Championship game appearance for the Ravens is a failure, especially since Ravens fans have been talking about how Lamar, he needs new wide receivers, he needs a new passing game coordinator, he needs a new offensive coordinator, even though the offensive coordinator got him an MVP. He needs more weapons. You know what they went? In the past few years, they got him Rashad Bateman, Zay Flowers, and Odell Beckham Jr. And he has a top 2, top 3 tight end in football, and Mark Andrews. There is no excuses for Lamar Jackson and that team. There is, especially for Jim Harbaugh too, because Gage, the same energy that you give Mike McCarthy, you need to give Jim Harbaugh. Because what has Jim Harbaugh done different than Mike McCarthy?
I don't know. He just has he has a less punchable face.
See, here you go.
But hey, you know what, Ethan? I'm actually in full agreement with you. This is wild because I don't think we're ever in 100% full agreement, but I really like the Ravens. I think their defense is going to be supremely underrated heading into the season. They've got a crazy secondary, a great group of linebackers, but offensively is where I want to focus too, because like you said, there are no excuses. And I think Lamar knows it too. Lamar knows there aren't excuses. He's got those weapons now, and hopefully he just puts them to good use because we know what he can do on the ground. We've seen what he can do as a passer. Is he the most skilled passer? Is he in the conversation with the Mahomes, the Burrows, Rodgers? No, not at all. I don't think anyone has ever said that he was going to be that level, but he has shown that he can be a very effective passer, and with weapons that are going to stretch the field, cause defenders to miss, give him a little more rack yardage, I think they put him in a perfect situation. And the competition, like you mentioned too, Kansas City, I'm 100% on board with that too. I think they're going to be alternating kind of, especially with the Chris Jones holdout, and I just don't see them repeating another Super Bowl. I really just think
they still are the Chiefs and they still are the teams to beat, but they're gonna get got. They're gonna get
exactly. I think the Bengals are realistically the ones who could dethrone and derail the Ravens' hopes and expectations. But I'm not mad at your take. I think the Ravens are going to be a very good team. There are no excuses for Lamar anymore. He's got the team, and yeah, I'm just really excited to see what they can do.
Yeah, what's your third one? Come on.
My third one and my last one to end the show. I got to stick with division in my division. If you don't know, I'm a Packers fan. And I really hate to say this because I do like their coach. I do like the players. I do like what they're building, even though they're a division rival. I'm ready to be disappointed by Detroit again. Everyone seems to be in love with Detroit, and rightfully so. Again, they're the lovable losers. Everyone wants to see Dan Campbell eat people's kneecaps. Jahmyr Gibbs was a top 10 pick this year. There's a lot to like with this team. But guys, we're talking about the Detroit Lions. They're going to find a way to fuck it up. They always do. Like, let's just be realistic here. Like, don't set yourself up for failure. You're going into the season, yeah, Detroit's going to win the division. Detroit's going to be really good. And then guess what happens? What always happens in Detroit? You fall short, you lose to the Packers, and that's about it. But I don't know. How do you feel about the Lions? Because I feel like they're getting a lot of hype, and it might just be because
they got hype last year.
Want to see them win.
They do. They're very much lovable losers in that sense. I think they're going to make the playoffs this year, whether it's a wild card or win the division outright over the Vikings. But it's going to be hard, man. Jared Goff has been solid the last 2 years. He hasn't been anything bad. He's been pretty solid, but he's got weapons. That Jameson Williams pick has got to hit this year. He didn't do nothing last year. He didn't have a great training camp.
And he's suspended for the first 3 games, too.
You pick Jahmyr Gibbs, who I think is the truth. I think Jahmyr Gibbs is that good.
Okay, so hold on. But you're cool with the Jahmyr Gibbs pick at 10, but you're not cool with the Pitts pick at 4? Because yes. Jahmyr, no, so this is my problem, and I think we
give me a running back over a tight end.
Okay, so see that I guess it comes down to how you value the position, but this
give me the Todd Gurley's, the Ezekiel Elliott's over the what's his name that just went to the, it's ruining my point. I can't remember this. It's what's his name that the Hayden Hurst, the Kyle Pitts. Give me those 2 over them 2.
Okay, but then you could also counter that with the Greg Olsons, the Kellen Winslows. But hey,
the Alvin Kamara's, the Derrick Henrys.
No, you're right. You're right.
Bar for bar.
Yeah, we can go bar for bar. You're right. But and I'm derailing the conversation a little bit. But like for me, that was one of my biggest complaints about their offseason is it was just a very lateral move. Like if they knew they were going to take a quarterback in the top 10, a running back in the top 10, why not just take Bijan? Instead, they trade out. Get to the top 10 pick, get Jahmyr, who, again, I like Jahmyr Gibbs. I think
they have plans to use him. I think they're going to use him. They're going to use him pretty fun this year.
Yeah. I have nothing against Jahmyr Gibbs. I like him a lot. I didn't see the value at the time, and I just don't think that Jared Goff is the guy who's going to get them to where they need to go. And I wouldn't be surprised if they missed out on the playoffs. And I'll go even a step further to say that either Chicago or Green Bay could be better than them. But hey, I mean, Minnesota is kind of a given because we know how good Minnesota is as long as Justin Jefferson isn't on crutches. But hey, if Jordan Love is half as good as Aaron Rodgers was in his prime, they'll be better than Detroit. And I mean, that's just off of my general belief of where I think their defense is. I think they have a lot of weaknesses on that side of the ball too. I'm trying to get Lions fans to understand. Don't get your hopes up. They're going to let you down again. That's all I got to say. Ethan, take it away, man. This is...
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're lagged out for a minute. So here, I'll make note of that so that Dillon can edit it.
We almost made damn near the entire episode. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, let me wrap this up real quick. Text me. We'll do a cut right here, but text me real quick. Text Dillon, make sure he knows. But also, what else was I gonna say? All right, yeah, my 3rd pick. So, I can go a lot of things, right? With my final pick for my agenda, I could push my Justin Fields agenda, right? Which is going to be a subsection of agenda. Definitely, that's going to be on my list. Justin Fields, attention to you, buddy. I will be paying attention to you. I could talk about Josh Allen and the Bills, which I will be focusing on. But my main one has got to be with my home team, the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys, this is the 1 year in my life, right? The 1 year in my life where I'm boom or bust, right? Usually I'm always copping pleas like, oh, well, this happened, well, that happened. No excuses this year. The streak ends this year. The Dallas Cowboys will be in the NFC Championship game this year.
How many times have I heard this? This sounds like
anger,
a repeat,
don't do this. You've never heard
a tape recorder. Yes, I've heard every Cowboys fan say this before.
You never heard. You've never. I said we could. I've said we could. I said we could have had chances. We could have had chances.
Y'all will win the Super Bowl this year, huh?
No, I didn't say will. I said we will be in an NFC Championship game. I
Oh,
was. We will be in an NFC Championship game this year.
all right.
We will be in an NFC Championship game. If we don't get it this year, my God, we've suffered heartbreak after heartbreak after heartbreak in my life. We've lost every weight imaginable, every weight imaginable. It's God has got to shine His light on us one time, and He's going to. Even though we got a hard ass schedule, it's a marathon, not a sprint, right? We're gonna lose some games we shouldn't lose. We're gonna win some games we shouldn't win. But the Dallas Cowboys that we are, we're gonna rise to the occasion. We're gonna take it to the promised land. And the Super Bowl this year, Gage, where is it at? Vegas?
I believe so. Yeah.
All right. When we get to Vegas, the stadium is gonna part like this so God can watch his favorite team play. Number 6 is coming home. Number 6 is coming home. Dak Prescott's going to get his Super Bowl trophy. He's going to be risen into the angels are going to take him to the upper echelon. The prophecy is going to be fulfilled.
And then you turned off your PlayStation. Sorry, buddy.
The prophecy is going to be fulfilled, right? The NFC Championship game or bust. Mike McCarthy, I've been a defender. This year, by hook or by crook, you need to get us there, right? You've done a good job so far. Time to make this a great job. Get us an NFC Championship game. And I'm all in. If you get me to an NFC Championship game, you got 2 more years of bullshitting around me. Same with you, Dak. I love you. You're my favorite football player ever. I need you to everyone to see what I see in you. I see the real you, Dak. Take us there. You can do it. You can do it. You're the second coming of Brady. That's what you are.
Okay,
you're
all
the
right.
man
You
that
know
put
what?
Brady
Hold on.
Hold on. You're the man that put Brady out of his retirement. Come on.
We've let this propaganda go on too long.
You beat
Ethan.
Brady. Brady gave you the keys. It's time to do this.
Brady didn't give him.
Mahomes couldn't beat Brady. Mahomes couldn't beat Brady. You did that. You put him out. You retired him. I'm done with my spiel.
I'm so glad that's where you ended it because we've been here. Like I said, we've heard this so many times over the years. I'm just gonna let it run its course, and when you guys eventually lose, I'm not gonna shit on y'all. I think y'all are a very good team, one of the best defenses in the league. You will definitely make the playoffs. But when you inevitably have your heart broken again, either in the divisional or the wild card round, just run this back, Dillon. All right.
Not doing this. Not this year.
Hey, but I think those are some really fun agendas. I think the NFL season is going to create a lot more new ones, and we're interested to hear some of y'all's. So if you've got an agenda, drop it in the comments, and maybe we'll discuss it on next week's episode.
We got you. We got y'all. Make sure to like and comment, subscribe, man. We smoked this episode. Yeah.
Anything else you want to say to our audience before we close this out?
No, I appreciate y'all for watching and listening. We're trying to grow the group chat even bigger. The road to 1,000, slowly but steady, but we getting there. So make sure to subscribe. Follow us on Apple Music and Spotify to catch new episodes and more content.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you're not following us on all of our socials already, we'll leave everything in the description. We're on Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. And like Ethan said, just make sure you go subscribe, like, do all that stuff. It really does help the channel. So we really appreciate it. But for our recording, it's been the young Rottweiler, Ethan Hamilton.
Bark, bark.
And I'm 007 Gage Sutton. Football season is back. Thank y'all so much for joining us. And we will see y'all next week for another Our Recording.